What is up, everyone? As you guys know, our favorite event of the year, Final Bout, is in like a week and a half. Very stressful. We got a lot going on. As you guys know, we basically built a whole car. I wouldn't say it was for it, but it definitely is nice having a deadline and something.
It lined up perfectly.
It lined up perfectly. And, well, we have my main car, the purple car, and it got a full refresh in the last video. If you guys didn't see it, well, spoiler alert, looks brand new. A lot of ass chassis content, but we got to continue on because we got a lot more work to do to get ready for this event. Now, Jordy's E36 with the 1.8 T-swap. We are dying to get that thing finished. We're waiting on the clutch. It comes in this week, so we might put that on and get the engine fully refreshed in the car, which I think we're all dying to see. Fresh bay, fresh drivetrain, and when we get back from Final Bout, we'll get this thing running, which is huge. But in the meantime, as you guys know, we worked really hard to make these cars look good, and we still have some more bits going on that you guys are really gonna like. Wait on those to show up. Nothing like everything being at the last second. But we gotta make sure they drive good. And well, one of the big things we have to start off today with is the differential. And that might not sound crazy, but it is a huge part of drifting. What kind of diff you have and the gear ratio, right? Those are two giant things that I think a lot of new guys kind of overlook, but it could really, really affect the way you drive and the way your car performs. Both cars have diffs in them. You know, they're working. Well, unfortunately, it's not the right gear ratio. And it's not as simple as a quick change. You know, we have a quick change in the Pro car. Not only is this diff way beefier and stronger, but we could take this cover off and change the gear ratio of our diff on the fly. So we could change the gear ratio on this thing in like 5 minutes. Unfortunately, when it comes to the stock diffs that are in the 240s,
we don't have that luxury.
Yeah, we gotta kind of build whole new diffs.
You gotta play musical diffs.
We gotta play musical diffs, which sucks. It's a lot of work, but it'll be worth it. All right, so Cherry Hatch, my parts car. This has a 4.6 ring and pinion in this thing, where both cars right now have a 408.
What does that mean, Jim?
These both now need 4.6s for US Air. Your gear ratio will determine at what RPM is translated into what wheel speed. Does that sound simple enough? When it comes to drifting, wheel speed is super, super important because the wheel speed is essentially kind of where you're putting your power down. If your gearing's too long, it's gonna be really hard to keep the wheel spinning because you're gonna have to keep lugging it up and it's gonna overspin the tires and your car's not gonna go anywhere. But if your wheel speed's too low, your car's gonna be on limiter all the time and it's not gonna be spinning fast enough to really keep you in drift. So you have to find that middle ground. And unfortunately, every track is different because the speed at which you're kind of sideways is different at every track. And that's why people use quick changes in FD, because they get to the track, change the wheel speed optimal to the track. So when you hear people talk about differential ratios, you're like, oh, Jimmy, what the hell does that mean? Well, it's really simple. It's literally how many times this thing rotates to rotate the axles one time. So if it's a 4.6, this has to spin around 4.6 times to do one full rotation on the axle. Or if it's say it's a 2.1, it's got to spin around 2.1 times to get this thing to spin around once. Obviously, if it's a higher gear ratio, so the higher the number, the more rotations this takes to spin the wheels, which then brings the wheel speed down. So at US Air with my 408, I have way too much wheel speed. The car is very hard to control on this tight little track. So if we bump up the diff ratio, it'll bring my wheel speed down and put me in power bands where I need to be with the right wheel speed so my car can perform optimally. We learning today, boys? All right, we got a lot to do today, but this is just the start of it. Oh, I gotta pull so many diffs right now. Someone needs to make like a grassroots quick change, like a small one. I would buy, right? Like someone's gotta make like a 500-600 horsepower miniature quick change. Someone's gotta do it.
It'll go a long way.
It would go a long way. This sucks. All right, let's get to work. So I need 2 sets of 4.6 gears. One's in the air and one's in Brian's car. You know what's nice? Not doing this, everything hot on the side of a racetrack. Technique, baby. Do I drop it on my head or do I put it on the ground and use a jack? You feeling strong, T-Bone?
I mean, it's a little tall.
Yeah, we got the sway bar as an insurance. That'll be fine. Oh God. Yeah, it's got a sway bar, it's nice. It makes it harder actually, so kick it. Here, let go real quick. I got it. So, kick it this way.
Yep.
Stub over it, kick it this way.
Down.
Look at that, the sway bar actually helps a lot.
Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Not bad, actually.
Ooh. Just verify it's actually a 4.6. This is math right here. Put one in here. Put a line. A line. Okay, let's count it. A 1, a 2, 3, 4. That looks like 6.
That's it.
That's it. 4, 6,
Say
baby.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Pick.
You pick. I wish I could just bolt this in the yellow car, but no. There's a couple of things different. One, the front cover is different. This is an S13 front cover. It has 4 bolts. I put an S14 subframe in that car, so that's a 2-bolt diff, but that's not the only thing that's different. Okay, I was strong a couple years ago, I guess. You know what's crazy? I bought this diff from LZ. It's been a long time. Clean way to do this, by the way.
Well, they sell those metal trays.
Yeah,
you know that?
That would be smart.
And then everything just stays contained in the metal tray.
We don't got time for that. All right, so check this thing out, right? So if you go inside, you can see an open diff, right, with the gears welded together. So that makes it a welded diff. Both axles are locked together with the input. Make sense? It's a spool. You'll hear that term. That's like the drag race term, I think. OG term.
Old head.
What?
Old head term.
Old head. Drag race, whatever. So we're gonna put an LSD in this thing. And well, you hear the term limited slip differential, and there's many different types out there. Are they all the same? Not even close. What we're gonna put in this thing is a 2-way. Now with a 2-way, essentially the diff can lock. It means it'll lock in forward engagement and decel at the same time. So when you get on the gas and when you let off the gas, which makes it sound like it kind of locks all the time, but it doesn't. The big thing about the LSD is you could really promote grip with it. And you could use the LSD for your advantage, right? You can get your diff to unlock between transitions. You can get it to unlock by doing some half clutching and taking some load off the drivetrain. And with that, will cause your car to grip up and make you faster. Now, that's the broadest way I could describe it. There's way more in depth to it if you guys want to do your research, if you want a 1-way, 1.5-way, 2-way, whatever. When I switched to a 2-way in my black 240, I noticed a huge difference in my driving style and the grip that it actually put down, and it allowed me to be more aggressive and keep up better, which is what we want, right? I recently blew up my 2-way in this thing and had to put it welded in, and car floats a lot more. It's definitely not as fast to the transitions. I'm not able to do that little half clutching technique to kind of inch the car forward if the car is faster than mine. So both these cars are getting 2-ways, which adds a lot of work to this because guess what? We can't just swap this thing in. We got to change out this pumpkin for a 2-way. So the Nissan diff is definitely easier than most diffs. Take this off. That. And then there's shims in here. Do not lose your shims or mix them up. So there's 2 shims on this side. There's 1 shim on this side. We're gonna be replacing this core, but we need this gear set. So this is what we need. This is what makes it a 4.6. You can see the ratio is actually written. Most diffs are like this. Right here, see the ratio right there? So that will calculate to a 4.6. Like this. Goodbye welded. So we need this. This is the important thing. Hello 2-way. Look at that. This isn't crazy how complicated these things look. You see all the clutch packs and everything. You can see it through like the top. What I've noticed with like the really high horsepower cars, I don't know if I feel it as much, but if you're under that like 500 horsepower mark, an LSD is like life changing. Like if you guys, like it's kind of funny, like we always make a joke, like if you import a car from Japan and it looks like it was tracked at all or even just like modified at all, Usually there's a really good chance that it has an LSD in it. Like it's like kind of cool how in what I've noticed, it seems like in Japan, like it's like one of the first mods they do. Like for us, we might do coils and wheels, but I swear they just get these things and they're like, I want to drive spiritedly. Let's chuck a 2A in it. Clean, clean, clean. Lock tight. It's up to you. What's the torque spec?
At least 2 of those Ugga-Duggas.
Okay. Woohoo! The diff has 3 main parts, right? So we have the core itself, which in this case is a welded or a spool, and then this one we're swapping out for the LSD. And then we have the ring and pinion, so the ring and the pinion, and this will determine our gear ratio. So if we were changing gear ratios, we'd also have to change this. So we change this and diff because they have to match each other. Then we have the pumpkin, which is just the case itself. Now it's time to slip this back in, and you know, the alignment of the 2 gears need to be spot on. If they're not spot on, they're gonna fight each other. There's gonna be too much play in it. It's gonna have a lot of impact force. It's gonna break. It's gonna make noise. It's gonna be a pain in the butt. Luckily with the R200s, like the Nissan diffs, are pretty simple. As long as you keep the shims with the gear, you can kind of bang them in and out of each other. So remember, if you're taking your gears out and putting them in a different diff, make sure you take the shims with it. Same for the pinion. There's a big shim in there. And you can just kind of impact them in and out, which is really nice, because some diffs you have to shim every single time, and it could be quite the job. Nissan made it nice and easy for us.
During a bearing race.
This could be a pain, so we're gonna take our shim that was on this side, slip her in. The shims are in, so this is in the correct location, and then it just bolts it on with this cap, which holds the bearings in. Easy as. These were actually gonna torque because these hold down a bearing, so it's way more important. Take our stubs and we just, nice. There we go, baby. We got a 4.6 2-way diff. So now that's together, you should probably just check it real quick. Now there's ways to measure the lash and the fitment of the diff, but with these, if we're just keeping shims, it should be pretty spot on. Now, the lash is basically the amount of play that it is between the 2 gears. So you hear the clunk in there? Right, there's supposed to be a little bit of play. Now, if there isn't play, that means it's too tight, and if it gets hot, it's gonna expand, it's gonna get even tighter, it's gonna probably blow it. It's probably gonna it's gonna eat itself, which isn't good. But if there's a bunch of play, then there's gonna be a lot of slop in the gears, and the gear's gonna be smacking around, and it's gonna break. So, you really should have, you're slapping one of these things together, if it's super loose or super tight, just be wary. You just want a little bit of movement in there. Now the next fun part. This sucks. It's nice when it's a brand new car though. Damn. Pull her out. Alright boys. Now we gotta steal this housing. Look how nuts this diff housing looks. Gretty housing. This is Gretty's housing. It holds an extra liter of fluid, which is nuts to help keep the diff cool. Quart liter. The Japanese product is probably a liter. My dad, Jeff Stonebeck, is letting me use it. It's gonna look so sick under the car.
Goes with the intake manifold.
He stole my spare diff, and then I stole his spare diff, and it has this cover on it. Thanks, Stonebeck. Brakes cover. Look at that. Sick. The worst part. Smear, 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 smear. Oh man, I'm adding extra weight to the car. What am I supposed to do?
Drive faster.
Drive faster. Drive harder. This is gonna make it so much harder to bolt in the car. But it looks pretty cool. But it looks so cool. Some Enios. This is not a funnel. This is AI generated funnel. Should we just like snap fingers in the car?
Would that help you out?
I think they would like that. Yay. Let's do it again. One more time. Alright guys, quick disruption in today's video because I gotta have a huge shout out and a huge plug to Mike Martino down at Design Shop React. As you guys know, he has designed and installed and printed the whole process of all of the Front Street liveries. He kills it. His quality is insane. His eye for design is unmatched, and he also does all the stickers for shop.gmail.com. Now, if you guys want to get yourself your own livery, something designed, some stickers made for your crew, for your website, for your brand, whatever it is, go on designshopreact.com, use discount code JimmyO for a good discount, and you will be getting the insanely high quality product at a really good rate. So show them some love, designshopreact.com, and get yourself some quality decals. All right, boys, now we can finally get this thing on the ground, which is huge because we haven't really driven it at all. I want to put it back on the dyno and see what this gritty intake could do. And guess what? We got 2 wheels back in powder coat. So we told you guys we're gonna do the 57 DRs again this year, but we powder coated them white. I figured white would really make the yellow pop. It was different from the silver. I thought it'd be fun. It allowed me to not have to buy more wheels because we've spent a lot of money prepping the 2 cars. So I think white's a good look. The only thing that sucks about white is they're always dirty. Like just moving them from the tire machine right here, they're already dirty. But we have colored stickers on here, which doesn't sound like much, but honestly putting a colored race sticker on here does a lot for the wheel. But I'm just excited to see the white on the yellow. So of course we have our big aggressive like Kansai fitment right here with the big tire. Yeah, that's crazy.
That brightens up the car so much.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it definitely needs a sticker. Because remember before, like when we put the stickers, like the green one, see how it has the red sticker on it? It's funny how that little bit does a lot for the car. So it makes it feel like an actual car now. I really wanted to do different wheels. I just wanted to switch it up. And I think I still might eventually. This isn't a bad first rendition though. I usually run a 10.5 in the rear because I like that like slight stretch that makes it look a little bit sporty, but these are 9.5s. These are actually the wheels off of the Cherry hatch, because we only got the front done. I bullied my buddy, a friend who's powder coating the wheels. He was only able to get 2 done so far because he's so busy, but I wanted to see the car on the ground, so we stole these off the Cherry hatch, and these are 9.5. So it looks, look at that fitment. That is a square fitment. So it's gonna look a little bit more aggressive on these wheels. Tire looks like a drag radial on this thing right now.
I kind of like it.
It looks fast. The only thing that sucks is the hatch over fenders are definitely a higher arch than the coupe. This car is lower in the rear, like by a lot than the coupe, but the wheel gap's bigger. For now, let's get the wheels on, get on the ground, because I want to get this thing on the dyno ASAP and see what this gritty intake manifold did for our power band. It's so awesome. It looks good, awesome. I knew it looked so good. Now the rear fitment's a little whack right now. We got to fix the ride height, spacers, and the alignment's all screwed up. So the rear, don't even look at the rear. But if you come right here, dude, and you just see that front fitment with the white, got the black Grandma sticker on it. It is so freaking good. It has a really sporty function fit, which I absolutely love. This car looks like it gets down. That's the best. I love that look. Such like a D1 vibe to it that it just, I'm obsessed with it. I put it on the ground last night. I've probably taken 400 photos. Like it's all coming together, this car. It's so freaking cool. It's so pretty. Front fitment is, we'll get the rest of the wheels from powder coat at the end of the week, so we'll actually have the proper fitting wheel and everything like that to get it all sorted. But for now, the car looks incredible and it feels so good to get on the ground. So, car's on the ground. We got the new gear ratio in it, and now we have our new intake manifold on it. If you guys watched the last video, we got our gritty intake on the car. Since we have an 11:1 compression SR, well, we have a surplus of torque, and usually you run a stock intake because it promotes a lot of torque, which is great because these things, especially in stock form, doesn't have a super high compression. It's only 2 liter, and you know, usually you're fighting for more torque on these things. But since we have the high compression, we have a surplus of torque, we're able to switch to a short runner forward facing intake, because what this does, this will essentially trade off torque for horsepower. And since we had more torque than horsepower before, I'm hoping with the gritty intake, we're able to have more horsepower than torque, or at least balance it out a little bit better. The gritty intake in there looks so beautiful. Makes the car easy to work on, keeps things nice and simple. And like my first like SR had a gritty intake on it, and it feels kind of good to have one back on. Let's get this thing on the dyno, get this thing cleaned up, see what she does, and we can finally rip it on the block for like, honestly, the first time, which is really good since we have to go, well, compete in this car next week. Ready for that chop? Spicy. That ain't going nowhere.
It might go somewhere.
Nope, not at all, Jordan. So this was the previous dyno session, and don't look at the number because it's not right, but the graph, the shape of the graph is normal, right? So what we have here is a nice bang of torque, and then she falls off pretty good because it has just like kind of a hard time flowing the air through it. So the goal here is to take this torque right here and basically place it right here for horsepower. And that's what we should be seeing from this intake. That's kind of what you get when you see it on the more stock setups that we've done before. We're a little bit in open waters here, but with these cams and this engine and everything like that, but time to see. Look how much longer the torque curve is flat, which accounts for a taller power bands for horsepower. And so right here, it did fall off, but I can see in the tune why it fell off. So we should be able to actually bring this up a little bit more so the torque should be pretty flat, which is honestly a huge improvement over the stock intake. So the Greddy intake was a huge plus. I mean, look at, we finally have quite a bit more horsepower than torque, which was what I wanted to see. Because before it was pretty even. If not, I think it had a little bit more torque than horsepower. Because now we can make a higher peak power and a stronger, longer pull with actually putting less stress on the engine. 477, 412. It's pretty good. And we have probably like 8 more PSI to play with because we could max the turbo out, but that's a lot of power. That's way more power than I run in the purple car. The purple car, we made a bunch of power, right? The purple car, we tuned it up to like 23 PSI, and you can go probably, with this turbo, we can probably go up to 28, 30 PSI. And then I went drifting with it, and I kept turning the power down until I noticed, right? Because my whole thing was like, you know, why put extra stress on the running gear for no reason? If it's not making me faster, it might just be making more smoke, which might actually make the car slower. Let's take some pressure off the running gear because I want to brake stuff. So I kept lowering the horsepower. I kept lowering the boost until like the purple car has been on like 17, 16 pounds all year. And I think we could all agree that car is not slow. Kept up with all the pro cars of the World Tour. The car's fast. Last comp, I was like, okay, I put some real sticky tires in my car, and I was like, okay, let's turn the boost up. I gotta, you know, keep my stuff together. I turned the boost up to like 20 PSI, and I broke a diff instantly. So, as much as I want to see how much this thing can make, I think we might bring the power down so we could take some stress off the running gear because I don't think it needs it. But 21 PSI, 477 horsepower with more to gain. It's pretty gangster. Flat top, 11-to-1 pistons. Let's clean this thing up a little bit and see if we can squeeze a little bit more power out of this thing and more efficiency out of it without actually turning the boost up. Make sure this thing's happy because we're going to be taking this to Chicago, beating the crap out of it, and taking it to Wisconsin and beating the crap out of it. So right now, I got to make sure this thing is dialed. Looks like we're actually running out of fuel system, so we might need a bigger pump in this thing, or we might have to go to a -8 line just so it's a little bit easier to control. Because I mean, once you get up to that, you start tickling 500 on ethanol, like -6 can only flow so much fuel through it, no matter how big the pump is. So I brought it down just a hair. To put it in that range of like hopefully fast enough but not putting too much stress on the car, but we have a little bit room for improvement if we want to make even more power, which the engine is definitely capable of and the turbo is definitely capable of. We'll get a bigger, I'll probably run a -8 line for it, which wouldn't be too bad, but we'll see if the car even needs it. Obviously having a big power number is sick, but it's not always the name of the game. More power doesn't mean a better car. Super happy with it. It's running great. It sounds awesome. So now it's time to to do our dyno christening and to let this thing bark and hopefully not miss shift because I'm a right-hand drive with a CD transmission. Barks.
This thing is so sick.
So sick. How's those eardrums?
My ears are gone.
This actually feels like the first time I'm ever gonna get to actually drive it. Has a bucket seat, it's like working, I don't know. Just like feels right, you know what I mean? Just makes the right noises, feels nice and planted, feels tight.
You look right in it too.
I look good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Handsome man.
That's half the battle, baby.
This thing is so loud. I heard it all the way in the bathroom.
As all the neighbors like open their doors when I did that pull, I was like, oh shit. Get that rear fitment dialed in. Don't judge the car until the rear fitment's dialed in, all right? Fitment does everything. It needs a spoiler.
I cannot wait for the wing.
Yeah. So we have 3 wing options for this car. 3. The final 2 show up tomorrow. So in the next video, you guys will see what wing we're actually gonna. I'm gonna lose my mind. I already know.
Yeah.
3 is too many options. That one's gonna be really hard to pick. From paint. Anthony has been going crazy. So we have some spoiler options here. First, we have our trunk lip, which is a necessity, especially for the hatch. A little trunk lip there, and then we have 2 spoilers there. Now, we have a 3rd spoiler option coming in tomorrow, which might be the make or break, but roof spoiler. I don't care. Add a little bit of flair to whatever car you want. Origin makes a huge plethora of roof spoilers if you want to check them out. These hatches look so empty and boring, and you put one of these things on. Ooh-wee. This is a little one too. We had a bigger one, but I kind of like the little one. Chuck the whole roof spoiler. Nice little flare. The little things add up. But check this out. Mocked this up already, but come on, give me a second. You ready for this? Look how much this does for the car. Like, come on, you haven't seen that yet, Austin, have you?
Yeah, that's pretty sick. It's something so small, but it
adds so much to the car. Like the back, like if you're standing right here, it gives so much more definition to the chassis. I'm kind of obsessed with it. The only thing that kind of sucks about this spoiler, looks incredible from the back, but the only thing I'm worried about is it's a little lackluster from the front, considering how like aggressive the car is.
Yeah, you can't even really see that it's on there.
Yeah, and the car is kind of extra, so I almost feel like it needs extra. But from the back, it looks so incredible. But I'm nervous the big wing might be too much for this car. Do you want to help me square this thing up or what?
You can do that.
So I got like maybe 3/8 of an inch from the end. Forever hold your peace. All right, just stand here for like 30 minutes.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
I think it's sticking. Just have gray hair. Right, we got to test fit this thing. So we've mentioned it before. It's an R34 GTT wing. Now, Nismo had a rendition of it where they had a Nismo GTT wing, which is literally just a regular GTT wing with the uprights replaced with a aftermarket type upright. We'll call it aftermarket type, but you know, like a metal GT style upright. So I couldn't find the Nismo ones because they're like $2,000. So I found like universal ones online that looked very close. And so now look at it, it makes this little OEM spoiler look very sporty. So it's either gonna look really sick or I don't know.
It's different.
It's different.
Very different.
I do like the fact that it is an OEM wing, or like an OEM option in a sense. So, let's see how this might look.
I'm kind of liking it.
Yeah, you hold it. Okay, so
I think it's sick.
from the rear, it looks really cool. I knew if we color matched it, it'd look so hard.
That's so good.
A couple guys were like, oh, I wish it was wider. And I was like, to me, if it was wider, it'd look really weird. If anything, I'd want it skinnier. I like how it just hovers right over each quarter panel. That looks with the black breakup, it makes the back end look even busier.
Bro, the car already has like a D1 kind of vibe to it. And this matches perfect.
Exactly. Like the whole energy of this is very D1 with like a little long twist. That looks so cool. Austin, that's actually
That's so cool.
that's really cool. Oh my god.
That's really good.
Like staying right here now. Picture the rear fitment actually being good.
That's so good.
Drill the holes.
Drill the holes, he says. That's the hard part because this is a wingless patch.
I did not think I was going to like it this much.
No, me neither. It kind of works too because the delivery, the black lines go up and like into the wings too. Like it has a very similar shape with
That's
the black.
really sick. Okay, but we can't jump the gun too much. We still do have that one other option.
Yeah, but that looks really cool. I love that it's OEM. That's pretty cool. I was hoping I wouldn't like it, you know? It's a risky move, but I think it looks incredible.
I think it's the right move.
It's nice too because like if you look at the, like if you're taking everything in, like the top of the car is yellow, the bottom of the car is yellow, and it's kind of black throughout the windows, and it kind of follows suit with the black and the wing stands. If you really try and think about it,
Now I'm thinking about it.
because it feels so balanced. I don't know, chat. What do you think? It just looks so like 2000s in the best way. You know, like GT spoilers have always, they were the shit. Then they became way too ricey because there was a bunch of Honda Civics and fucking like Hyundais and shit that put like weird things that just put stupid random spoilers on things, and I got corny, and then now they're coming back. It's back in style, full circle. I feel like in some people's brains the GT thing is still ricey, but like that is fun, I'll tell you that. Take it in, boys, take it in. This is either the coolest thing ever or the wackest thing ever. I'm leaning towards the coolest thing ever. But we got one more wing option. So we're gonna hold off until that comes in. So next video you'll see the next wing option and we'll make the final call from there. But I love seeing the yellow in the spoiler. I even think those like random uprights actually look really good. I think we've all been sitting here for 20 minutes now just going, yep.
That's the answer.
It looks so
It's
freaking
so
cool.
good.
I love it. I love that it's just, you probably won't see another one like this, you know?
Yeah.
Which is just really cool. Hope you guys learned some things with some differentials today. It was not the most exciting, but I'm stoked. We got a lot done. It looks awesome on the wheels. Once I get the rear fitment actually dialed in, we'll get an alignment tomorrow. Ready intake, did a huge number for our power band. It made that 11-to-1 compression SR make sense with our setup. I love it. Cars hitting, felt so good driving around the parking lot for the first time like that. And got a ponder on the wings. I don't know if I don't even want to test with the new wing now because this one looks so freaking cool. Well, let me know what you guys think. Nice little sticker on the end plate or some little FS or something. See what I mean? But for now, we got to end this because we got to get back to work. But you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. We'll see you guys very shortly.